They're coming to get you, Barbara.
The Fear Central Radio Show. Warning, our content may include spoilers and is intended for mature audiences.
Hey, fellow horror fans, welcome to the Fear Central Radio Show. I am your host, Mike, and joining me this week,
Heather,
Chris,
Katie,
Paul.
All right. So, we've got an exciting list of things coming out this week and for things to do and watch and see. And
It's almost like we're in the month of October.
I know, right? It's kind of weird.
it's fall, you bitches.
But
It's fall, y'all.
No, I said it's fall, y'all bitches.
It's fall, y'all bitches.
beyond.
The spice must flow.
but not the pumpkin variety, please.
spice.
No, that's terrible.
No, hashtag maple this year.
No,
Hashtag maple?
that's no maple.
No maple?
No maple.
No
That
maple.
starts in November.
Okay.
Get your months correct.
But
Okay.
Starbucks has already got that maple going.
Shut. They're just like everybody else. They're greedy assholes, and they're trying to squeeze, Christmas
They
into.
come from the holy land of Seattle.
The hipster mecca.
Hipster Mecca. Which is kind of weird because it used to be all grungy.
I know.
So,
Everybody was so sad.
I know.
Well, it rains 9 months out of the year over there. You would be a little bit sad and depressed too.
Everybody tied flannel around their crotch and got real sad.
Yeah.
Well, now they just wear the flannel and tell everybody else they're not educated enough.
No, that's Portland.
There you go.
Oh, that's Portland. You're
Portland.
right.
Oh, yes. Well, Grimm is from there, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So. But first things first. Everybody, we need to wish Chris a happy birthday this week.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Now
Y'all
you
need
gotta
to,
pick up the phone.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, pick up the phone.
They will not pick up the phone.
So everybody, send in your happy birthday wishes to Chris.
Oh.
And you can do that over at fearcentral.net.
No, wait a minute. They'll make requests of Chris on her birthday?
Oh, God.
Is that the way that works?
Yeah.
I'm
and she'll
afeared.
repeat it over and over.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am so afeared now. This could end very, very badly for me.
It could, and it would be
Yeah.
amazing.
And it doesn't matter when you listen to this
What?
podcast.
How the hell
if it's
is
like
that
3 years,
amazing?
three
You're
years
supposed
down
to
the
be
road,
on my
Yeah,
side.
whatever.
I
Just-
am on
yeah.
your
Just,
side.
Anytime.
No, I will not come to your house and kill your parents. No, I will not slaughter your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. No,
We're out of
She
the
will
Colts
not do.
podcast,
She will
okay?
not do anything illegal.
Yeah.
We're out
I've
of
done some
Colts. We
sketchy,
don't-
immoral shit for Klondike bars, though.
What would you do for a Klondike?
For coffee, you don't even want to know.
I'm pretty sure I would do whatever it took to get her coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
What do you
seen
want?
her without it.
So many people have died in the search of getting Chris coffee.
Yes.
They have. They really have. I'm just saying, Meryl Streep and Devil Wear Prada has nothing on me about coffee.
Yeah. We put her up
Nothing.
there with Captain Janeway.
Man,
There's
yeah.
coffee in that nebula.
There is.
So.
And it was freaking amazing.
So other things going on this week, starting Sunday
Yes.
is going to be Eli Roth's History of Horror. That's going to be on
Can't wait
AMC
for
channel.
that. That is going to be so
Yeah, it
exciting.
starts this week.
Well, if we
Yes.
pull back the veil, it's going on right now as we're recording this.
This is true. If you want to know a little bit about what it is,
What is it?
It's going to bring together the masters of horror, icons, and stars
Such
who
as?
define the genre to explore its biggest themes and reveal the inspirations and struggles behind its past and presence.
So let's
Are
see.
they
They should
German?
have. They should have some.
All the struggles!
They should have some Tom Savini on there.
No,
They
I thought you
better
were about to say
have.
Tom Six after I did the German.
No.
Hey, feed the bitch.
we got the first two stitched together, but then the third one, he just didn't want to go.
No.
Has a complete list.
Each 1 hour episode will take everybody on a chilling exploration of how horror has evolved through the eras and impacted society, as well as why loyal fans remain addicted to the fear.
So I have a question. Is it directors or is it
It's
the
directors
effects,
and personalities.
or is
It's
it
all kinds of peoples.
I saw Stephen King, John Carpenter, Elijah Wood. For some reason.
Oh, he
well,
was because of Cooties, and he actually went to KMB and asked about getting a horror studio put together so
Okay.
he could do horror.
yeah.
Okay.
But it will feature Stephen King, Quentin Tarantino,
Wilfred really creeped me out from time to time when I watched it.
Maniac. He did his version of Maniac.
He did.
So Quentin Tarantino, Stephen King, Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
now a horror aficionado, I guess.
Well, he's going to be doing that Twilight Zone show for CBS All Access.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
When
he
does
will
that
be
start?
hosting in next year.
Next
if I
year?
remember right.
Okay.
Ooh.
Jason
Might
Blum.
be early 2020. One of the
Right.
two.
Okay.
Jason Blum.
Yep.
Robert Englund. Linda Blair.
Oh, from Repossessed.
Yeah. From
You,
Repossessed.
just shut your mouth. She had to pay the bills. Leave her alone.
Hey, that's a great movie.
It is fun.
If
Very
it's got
fun.
Leslie Nielsen in it, I'm all right.
Yeah, he's pretty good. You got to give it to the man.
Father, may I? No, you
You may not.
Rob Zombie. Haley Joel Osment. Jack Black. John Landis. Jamie Lee Curtis. And more.
Wait, Jack Black?
Well, yeah, because he's Mr. Goosebumps now.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Okay, but
It's children's horror.
And you did
The House with the Clocks in his
yeah.
walls,
Thank
which
you for
is
being my
the
words.
reason that he's on there because of Eli Roth.
okay.
It's true.
All right.
It's true.
I'll give you that.
So give that a check out. I kind of wonder how he got this idea, because I think like last season we did a history of horror, didn't we?
I think they listen to us and just don't want to
Well,
acknowledge
come on,
it.
Eli, give us a call. We want you on the show.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
anybody else associated with
as
it.
a personality, I like him. Occasionally, his movies are okay.
Occasionally.
Occasionally. Oh, just occasionally.
Which one was it that we said that's what he needed to do from now on?
Well, House with the Clocks in his walls.
Yeah, that's what he needed to
needs
do.
He needs to do some more children's movies.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
great.
okay with it.
I liked him in Cloyne,
Cloyne was good.
because he played Cloyne.
Yeah.
He did an amazing acting turn in *Inglourious Bastards*.
Yeah,
I got nothing against that.
right? Yeah. So come on, Eli, get you and your buddies. Give us a call.
Yeah.
Check us out over
Before you move
fearcentral.net.
on to *Red Inferno* and *Yellow Inferno* and
Yeah.
*Blue
Oh,
Inferno*.
yeah, let's just stop at Green.
Or the
The
sequel
Skittle-
to *Knock Knock, Who's There*.
Nobody.
Skittles of cannibalism.
Oh, Jesus.
Taste the rainbow.
I don't think I want to.
Taste the
Oh my
Rainbow
God.
and Steve.
And Steve. Yeah.
And Steve.
We taste Steve because he's wearing a rainbow. No.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I think we may have bridged this topic once, but I don't know if we had this entire cast the last time we did it.
True.
We were talking about history of horror, and
Right.
we were just watching the original Halloween.
Right.
And Mike tipped his hand and said that was the first horror movie he saw.
Yeah, it was my first horror movie.
Yeah.
Really?
TV edit.
TV edit.
Yeah, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like 7.
That's pretty. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How
you,
old were
you? Were
you?
like Tommy.
like 7
What the hell? Where was your mom and dad?
in the other room.
Oh, my God. They were completely oblivious.
They were.
Yeah, and I think I've aired that my first horror movie was actually Stanley Kubrick's The Shining
The Shining.
at
Don't get
age
seen it?
8.
Yours was...
Well, okay, so
Adam said
Paul,
it.
Shut up. That is not a horror movie.
Paul helped me kind of realize that I always thought the one that really actually scared me the most, that was my real horror movie experience, was Jeepers Creepers 2, the TV edit.
Okay.
It was the first time I'd ever seen like a real slasher type movie, right? But I saw The Birds when I was about 6.
There you go.
So
Man, that'll
that
scare the
counts.
shit out of
yeah,
anybody that age.
It was scary, but
Still haven't shown you
it
that
was
VR
a distance
experience.
enough.
Oh, yeah, I love
Distance
that
enough
one.
that it
That's
didn't
great.
scare me.
It's a
It
good
was
one.
just cool as hell. So
Yeah.
that's all I got from it.
Yeah, Heather's was Chainsaw, wasn't
It
it?
was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
She
And
went with a golden oldie.
wasn't so
it was,
golden oldie
it
back
was
then.
not.
So all of y'all had wonderful classics, and I got Jeepers Creepers 2.
Well, I mean, as an 8-year-old, I had to wrap my head around what that bear was doing, kneeling in front of that old man. It took me years to figure that one out.
But you started her with the bus?
Well,
I didn't start her with that. It was her friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
well, and
I've never seen Jeepers Creepers 2.
What?
it's actually pretty decent. Don't
not
see
bad.
the third one. Don't do it.
Don't watch the third one.
Don't
No.
do it.
Don't do it.
I don't know if I want to support pedophiles making movies.
I still say if he was guilty, he'd have been in jail and couldn't have made it. That's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, honey,
Anyways.
your first one? Your first horror movie?
That was when I was the baby. It was Jaws.
Jaws. He's a baby.
We used to
a good one.
watch when I was little bitty.
Original.
We used to
Watch it, like,
watch
every year.
The old black and white Godzillas.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
love
I mean, little
those.
bitty.
Gotta
Well,
love
we
some-
would
gotta
we
love
would
some
like
monster movies.
we would make like a fort and hide behind the couch pillows.
Nice.
And watch just with our eyes barely peeking over. I
Right.
was probably 4,
Yeah.
maybe
That's
5.
so fun.
It's like
You
a
know?
interview I saw with John Landis where he was younger. They would watch, and he'd be like watching Bride of Frankenstein or something. And he'd go, oh, too scary, too scary. And they'd change the channel over to the Wolf Man and watch it until, oh, too scary, and change it back. And,
Now, okay, so Jaws was my very first one. I was basically an infant. My dad decided it was a good idea to take my mom on a date to go see Jaws. And so that was my very first horror movie as far as what I've seen. The one that started getting to me would be the spider one, Them. And it was back in the 50s.
Yeah.
And then the very first one that wanted me to be an FX artist was The Invisible Man, because I could never figure out how they did it. You know, back then with their technology, it's
Yeah.
no CGI, so you had
Yeah.
to kind of, you know,
Right.
figure it out.
right?
There was definitely a lot more thinking outside the box
Oh,
before they.
way more.
yeah.
Way.
Oh, yeah.
I
Definitely.
mean, that's the reason to go back and watch all those silent films.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Like
love
the,
it.
The amazing
Yeah.
set pieces they do for
Oh,
backgrounds and everything.
especially like
Oh, yeah.
Nosferatu.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Ugh, yes.
Yes.
Bride of Frankenstein. I mean, just they're not just cinematic icons as far as monster movies, but the way they were filmed and, you know, the practical effects along with the stop motion of the camera and how the cinematography was back then. It did play a lot into it.
Now, I wonder how far Eli's going to take this, because we started all the way back on our horror history with the Grand Guignol,
Yeah.
and then moved on from there. And we didn't exclude other countries in ours because Germans really kind of took the forefront with Nosferatu, and then it moved into
Ours was pretty exhaustive.
yes,
Yes.
because
You got some iron fortitude for the listeners that went through all that.
yeah, because I think we had 9 of them,
It was quite.
9
It was,
episodes or
yes, it
something?
was a decade an episode.
pretty much, yeah. But what else is coming out this week? Netflix has got a show called Haunted coming out this week.
And this is not to be mistaken with the semi-haunting of Hill House that
Right.
Mike Flanagan's doing.
Right. Now, they just released Apostle,
Yep.
Yes.
which is all about what we talked about previously the last few shows. Cults.
Yeah, right.
It looks really good. I haven't
I've seen
started
some good
it yet.
reviews for it.
I haven't started it yet. I was going to, but I did not.
Right.
I need to.
But this one is actually going to be based on real people that sit down with their friends and family and reenact their hauntings
Okay.
in like their houses and stuff.
We're
So-
talking about Haunted, not Apostle.
correct.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, no. I understand that.
Also on Netflix starting this week. Heather and I are excessively excited about this one. Making a Murderer Season 2.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
haven't checked out the first one, it's a real interesting documentary series based on Stephen Avery, who was basically put in a position where he's now been put in jail for murder that he did or didn't commit, and how the court systems and the police treated him through all this. And a lot of people believe he's innocent, some people don't. So some people think he was set up by the police.
And in watching the
There were
making,
some editing issues with the first season.
that's what I was going to
After
say.
the fact.
Well, there was watching. See, I had no idea what this was even about until I just happened to be like, oh, hey, look, there's a documentary. I think I'll watch that. And I watched it, and I told Mike, you need to watch this. And it was, if you go strictly by what was done in the documentary, then you would see why they're saying that he's innocent. Mm-hmm. You would totally understand that. But if you go back and you read like some of the court documents, or if you read some of the other things that were cut out of the documentary, it makes you go back and question, was he really innocent?
Yeah.
And no, I do think, because in this, his nephew gets arrested and thrown in prison. Huh?
As an accomplice.
As an accomplice.
Right.
And
a lot of the issues with that is that he was, 16, 17?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
And he had
But a very, very low IQ.
Yeah.
Yes.
And very suggestible. Like you could, they were suggesting these things and he was just going along with it.
Right.
But that comes with having a low IQ and wanting to please people.
My whole issue with that was, in the first place, as a minor,
he
had to have a parent with him.
And there was no parent. That was where I was.
Right.
That's where I was going. He had no parent with him, so he didn't. I don't know, but I'm interested to see how the second one is going to play out.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very interesting. I love a good documentary,
well, especially because he pled guilty, didn't he? And then he
they coerced.
No, right. So it started that way, right? And then he recanted.
What happened was, no, he didn't plead guilty. The nephew said he did it.
Yeah, I'm talking about the nephew.
Oh, okay.
The nephew ended up doing time.
Yes. But they said he did it, but then he didn't do it, and anyways, it's totally off.
Right.
It makes you really think about the justice system and how it's different. You know what I mean?
From what I remember,
that's a soapbox and a half.
We're not doing that.
But we're not going to talk about it tonight.
We're not sliding down that slippery slope.
Nope, we're here. So.
There were some things in the documentary that you're just like, wait a minute.
Right.
Well,
absolutely.
But the thing is that the other part of that was he was wrongfully imprisoned in the first place for something he didn't do. Mm-hmm. And so he got out, and they're trying to decide whether the time in prison
offsets it.
If that's what caused him to do this new one or what it was. Yeah. And from watching different things about the first arrest and for rape and attempted murder, I believe is what the first charges were, because it was rape and of a lady on the beach.
And I think there was a part of that where
an assault or something.
He came running out naked in front of the sheriff's wife.
No, that was before. That was a totally different thing.
Yeah,
that happened, and then a lady in the area was raped and almost murdered, like attempted. She was beaten very badly.
Oh, right. Because that was the one where the other county said, we've arrested that guy.
Yes, and they said, no, we already have somebody.
Yeah.
So
I'm as clueless as
you are.
No, I don't bother with that.
If you want a podcast that does a really in-depth look at it, Parcast has one with a FBI. I can't remember his name.
Creative director for Criminal Minds.
Yeah, actually, he's fantastic, and they go episode by episode and not only look at what the evidence is from how it's presented, because they have not only a FBI guy, they have a casting director, and they have a actual psychologist, all working together talking about it. And if I could ever remember the name,
they're looking probably beyond what the documentary showed.
Yeah. Right. The whole thing
they're
is
analyzing the way. It's
because that's what they did. Because Jim, that's the main guy, the FBI guy. He's former FBI.
Okay.
He actually had connections and was able to get to information that wasn't in the documentary. Right. And he was just like, you wouldn't believe what isn't in that documentary. Yeah. So recommendations stemming from all this, I never really figured out. I didn't realize until recently that all of these Netflix shows, if you look, it always says Duplass Productions. Yeah. And I always wondered how much of a hand he had in it. But he's like
creative producer and everything like that. Mm-hmm. That's the guy that did. That's the guy that's the creative director for The League on FX.
Oh, okay.
And if you haven't watched him yet, and you have Netflix, watch the Creep movies that he's in.
Oh,
and
Creep.
directed them. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen the first
They're
one.
starting a third one soon.
Oh,
really?
are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
I like-
he's a really interesting guy because he makes art dramas, those movies, and he's producing all these Netflix documentaries.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Busy boy.
Yeah. And also, while we're talking about streaming services, if you don't happen to have Netflix, don't feel left out. Give out Hulu. Hulu is partnering with Blumhouse to do Huluween right now.
Yeah. Oh, are they? Okay.
Yes, and they have original short films that you can watch now exclusively there.
Okay.
And a whole lot of curated sections.
Oh,
We've been
well.
watching several on that service.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's how we got our Elvira fix.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna. I gotta figure out my Hulu password.
Yeah, don't remember that?
I don't know that. I pay for it every month, but I can't get on it.
Right.
That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. Huh?
Along with streaming services, for those that are interested, as we are, Amazon will this week bring out Lore Season 2.
Yes. About freaking time.
So if you're not familiar with Lore, we talked about it a little bit, I think just before the cults.
Yes.
When we talked about superstitions and phobias. But it's done by Aaron Mahnke.
Aaron Mahnke.
And this is Lore.
And this is Lore.
But he...
is Lore.
I think my favorite thing was imagining, because Katie listens to all of his podcasts and said he's been hyping up this second season.
Oh, I bet he has.
I love the way he crafts a story, and he's got but the thing is his voice is real soothing, so I like to try to imagine him hyping something up. Are you ready, people? Yeah, that's right. Let me hear you. Okay.
You're so mean.
He does this whole humble brag thing.
Oh, yeah.
He does this whole humble brag thing.
He's but he's not one of those that's so drought and monotone that you're just like, I want to sleep.
Oh, no.
Because the way he presents the stories is done very well, and he uses appropriate music in the background in order to
entice you
and enhance
and everything. And in general, he will frame a story from a dramatic angle.
Oh,
So
yes.
the way his inflection works for the
Well,
story,
and-
It works very well.
Yeah.
His inflection also is like intentionally haunting.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
it is specifically that way. So it's while it is soothing, it is haunting. It resonates with the words.
Right.
So
he's a horror novelist
yes,
and had decided to create a podcast based on folklore
Yeah.
and does his research very thoroughly.
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
the name of that? What's the name of that gravesite in the Northeast?
Graveside
Gravesite.
site. Which one?
The one that's the table. Up
Oh
by
my
the
gosh.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Yeah.
great
That's like
episode.
one of my favorites.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's so cool. I cannot remember.
I don't remember either. It's like one of the early episodes.
Yeah, it's like episode
Look
6
up
or something.
like that.
Hotel Baron. What was it? Stone Table.
Yeah.
We have our
Yeah,
we have our
sort that.
research department working on
Yes,
it.
we do.
Fast Fingers is on.
Hotel.
Hotel Baron. Stone Table. What's the
Monroe?
head
Some
marker?
cave or
What's
something.
We'll just let's see.
I'm thinking golden or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But it's made of marble. It's all white marble and is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
and
we looked it up afterwards.
every bit of it is
pieces or something
laden with
around it.
meaning, and it's not just like regular meaning. This is specifically Methodist meaning, like
Yeah.
specifically to
Yeah.
the Methodist Church. So
Right.
every bit of it, like so the family, all of them have chairs around
Right.
the table, and there's one chair missing.
Mm-hmm.
And what's in its place, Paul?
I remember who it symbolizes, but I don't remember what.
So
the-
there's
Wasn't there like
there's
a
one
skull
child
sitting
was
there or
a-
something in
No,
its place?
there was one child that was the black sheep.
Oh, yeah.
And they
they're-
weren't basically all of them had like places for their urns.
Yeah.
And that one's like the place for their urn was filled in with concrete.
yeah,
Right.
So
Yeah.
So you can actually get to his stuff through lowerpodcast.com.
Yes.
Or if you're subscribing to us through Spreaker, I know he's on Spreaker because that's how I listen to him. I'm sure he's on iTunes and other various places.
Yeah.
He's got some clothing out now, merchandise.
Yes, he
that you can
does. Lorepodcast.com will have all of that.
Right.
He actually has 2 other podcasts that are really fun. One of them is called The Cabinet of Curiosities,
Okay.
and that is just short stories of like folktale stories and
Oh, okay.
artifacts. They're awesome. I love
They're
them.
like 5 to 10 minutes each.
Like the whole thing. It'll be like 2 short stories.
Bite size.
So if you really like folklore type stuff, basically what Amazon has done is they've produced reenactments of his stories that he
Yes.
tells.
Yeah.
And they're done very, very, I mean, they're
so
Hollywood
excellent.
quality.
Season 1 that's already
So
up is
good.
6 episodes, and each episode is
2, 3.
2 or 3 stories from
Yeah.
other from the podcast he's already
Podcasts.
produced. But surprisingly, the reenactments are done very well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's one about the Irish folk tales of the Changeling.
Oh, yeah.
that
I
is
like
a
that
very
one.
dramatic reenactment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the acting is on par. I mean, I think there's even a couple of names
Yeah.
in some of these episodes.
There were a couple of recognizable faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like they went and got, someone from Hollywood or something to produce these, and
Yeah.
almost Steven Spielbergish. No, not that good, but
It's a very quick watch if any of this type of stuff is on your radar.
yeah,
So.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, they'll be looking for that this week on Amazon Prime, and you can get that, of course, on Amazon if you don't have Prime already.
Yep.
If you're a heavy metal music fan, Disturbed's new album is coming out this week.
Yes.
Cool.
I will be getting that to add to the rest of them I've got.
I'm pretty sure my husband will be getting that too.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Disturbed's
New Disturbed CD's coming out
CD's
this
coming
week.
out this week.
Big smile.
I got the big cheesy grin.
so on React channel, in honor of that, they did kids react to Disturbed,
Oh, did they?
like
Yes.
ages 6 to 12.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And it was sort of interesting listening to them because like the only one that recognized them was like an 8-year-old who's like, "Oh yeah, my dad listens to this." Yeah,
He just thought it was
and like, but the thing is Katie didn't really know Disturbed all that
didn't.
much.
I really
she knew Down with the Sickness and Stupefy were the only two I'd ever played
off
for.
the first album.
Yeah, and started playing some of them, and I went back and found some of the music videos, and this new album looks like it's keeping on the same wavelength. I mean, because for people who don't listen to the lyrics, I mean, Down with the Sickness, which is weird if you only ever hear the radio edit, you don't get to the screaming.
No.
Yeah.
No.
The screaming's only on the save for the album
Yes.
version.
Yeah.
Call it, "Oh, mommy, you stupid fucking sadistic whore."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Leaps.
So David, when he writes his music, writes very cryptic. So it's all about the evils in people. And
Yeah.
of course, like the screaming part that he's talking about at the end is basically an abusive mother, and how
Well,
he's
that's
like,
what the entire song's
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Well, Paul,
And
Well-
the one I played for Katie that I never recognized was real bad because I never really paid attention to
what it was about.
Yeah,
Which one?
In the Fire.
oh, into the
Off
fire.
of- yeah, Into the Fire.
Yeah, Suicide.
Have you seen? Yeah, well,
Have you seen the music video?
Yes,
it
I've
was
seen both
his-
versions. He's got one version.
It was his girlfriend.
Yes,
Ugh.
yes.
So
like
It's
the-
also
That-
it was also done in the house that caught fire that he had to sell before
Yeah.
he moved to Austin.
Yeah,
Wow.
because
Or
like
Chicago.
it is specifically a song about being left bereft and contemplating suicide,
Fighting
and
the
coming
urge
and
to
coming up
follow.
coming on the other end.
One of the
it.
videos he put out, he actually does an intro to it and says, "Look, this is
Yeah,
about
that's
this.
that's
Only
when we saw.
watch.
Yeah.
If you know anybody that is in this position,
Yeah, well, he's
call this number, go to this website, get him some
yeah,
help."
because that music video starts with her hanging herself,
Yeah.
and then he pulls her off. And,
Right.
Yeah.
It's very it matches the name of the band.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
But-
the lead line single that they played for the kids, you could tell just from the 10 to 30-second clips what that one was about.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're still kicking on the social issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, should be a great album. I've enjoyed every album they've put out. So I look forward to getting that one. And then finally, and I'm sure there's other things I'm missing, but the rest of the show will be about what's coming out Friday, which is John Carpenter's new Halloween.
Halloween.
Well, it's not John Carpenter's new Halloween.
Well, he's producing it, so it's
He's
his.
producing it.
It's his.
It's as much Jason Blum's in that context.
That's true.
But I mean, it is cool that they got John Carpenter to come back and do the music.
Yes,
that's
yes.
very cool.
And have you heard the new version?
Yes, I have.
It's very kind of techno-ish.
It is. Me and you listen to it.
I like the regular theme. I like the track that's called "The Shape Returns" a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's like a weird techno orchestra remix of it.
So, as he mentioned earlier, we were watching, I don't remember what channel we were on, but they were
AMC.
They were doing like the whole,
they've had a
they do everything but the remakes.
Yeah, they've had a marathon for like all weekend was Halloween marathon.
Oh, cool.
So
I'm just picking it up in different areas like H2O, and then all of a sudden we're and they didn't have the third one. The Season of the Witch was not in there, so it was 1, 2, 4, 5, H2O,
6, 7. Let's see. There was 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, we had said H2O was 7.
H2O is 7 because it follows the Curse of Michael Myers, which was 6.
Yeah,
right. And then you have 8 with Busta Rhymes or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't show those either.
Yeah, and then you've got the 2 zombies.
Yeah.
Which is now making this one like the 12th film or something.
I think it's. I mean, if you count this, I don't know if you. The thing is the entire series of it is like, for the people that aren't following it, you really don't need to marathon all the other films before you watch this. Just watch the original, because even the second movie isn't being included in this continuity for the new one.
Right? Yeah, it's been stated by John Carpenter that this one is actually part 2.
Yeah.
So,
the originally intended.
Right.
And
so it's going to be interesting to see
what it was supposed to do.
Right. Because it's gonna negate every film that's come since the first one.
I hate that I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out on video. I hate it. Bugs me.
We'll figure something out.
Can we put you in like the aisle?
Yeah, we can put you somewhere.
Like,
I mean,
I'll
pay for a ticket and lay in the aisle if they're okay
saying.
with that.
Like,
I mean, if we could
I
call
wonder
the
if
theater.
we could call the theater and say, "Hey, look, we have a friend." and
I
mean, they
they're
can't
supposed to be able to cater to disabilities. So.
Yeah, this is a disability. Like, I can't sit in a chair.
But I mean, seriously, it should.
Take your lawn chair.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I can't sit in the lawn chair.
Maybe we could
Well,
find
get you one of those ones
those.
that leans way back.
Maybe we could find one of those.
What about butt pillow? Would butt pillow help at all?
Butt pillow would not work.
No.
What if we went to one of the theaters that has like the reclining seats?
Yeah, the newer theaters up in
because
the city.
the legs come out and you could kind of slide down.
Basically, like
I
a
could do
recliner.
that. Yeah,
There are Barca Lounge
and I have to bring my knees up anyways.
Yeah,
so
it might work.
It might work.
We can figure something
Yeah,
out.
we'll try. Yeah,
we're gonna get you there.
yeah.
That's
I
right.
haven't seen a movie since what, October of last year.
October? Yeah.
It's been a year.
We went and saw
theater?
it.
Yeah.
It was the last one we went and saw, wasn't it?
It was.
No.
Oh, was that when we went to the drive-thru?
I wonder if the drive-thru is going to get it.
I don't know.
If the
That
drive-in
would be
gets it, that would be
awesome.
awesome
Yeah,
because then we could
chill
load you
out
up and
however.
Yeah,
we could put you in the back of my car.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that'd be great.
that would be great.
So shout out to Brazos Drive-In.
Yeah, because they did. They already did.
House with a clock in its
House with a
walls.
clock in the wall. So I don't see why they might not get this one. I mean, they could.
They're not going to do it Halloween night, though.
No.
They're doing
No.
a marathon of Tarleton-produced movies.
Are they?
Seriously?
Yep. They announced it earlier today.
Tarleton's produced
hell?
movies.
Well, I mean, they have a theater department.
Well, yeah, I went there. I mean, were they going to show mine that won the film festival? That's it.
You might check.
Slasher Flake's going to be at the drive-in, honey.
I just know that they consistently are awful to the band kids, and like.
So,
So, I'm going to be the black sheep
are you?
and ask a question.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh. black sheep and a question.
You got to stir some controversy if you're going to
Okay.
make it
Okay,
engaging.
let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
So John Carpenter and Deborah Hill went on record that the experiment of Halloween 3 was what they actually wanted to do with the series.
Correct.
They
Okay.
wanted it to be an anthology series with
Yes.
different stories every
Halloween.
everything, but the
Right.
audience wouldn't accept it. The producers wouldn't accept
No,
it.
because after
So, like, they wanted it to be like American Horror Story, but a movie.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every film was supposed to be a different Halloween story.
I could have
It was
got behind.
supposed
It was
to
something I
start
could have got
with
behind.
The Boogeyman babysitter film,
Yeah.
and then off
Three-
to
I
a
mean,
different one, and then
The third movie is incredibly cheesy, but whoever it is that
I
plays the
actually like
villain
it.
in it,
Oh, yeah.
I
he has that
actually-
amazing monologue at the end where
Yeah.
he's
I
talking
actually
about Sam
really
Hain.
liked it. Like, I really like Season of the Witch. I don't know.
I enjoy the over the top camp of it, but
Yeah.
it is very over the top. But anyways, so what would y'all thought? Like, do you think we would have been missing out on all these sequels if we had that? If like John Carpenter managed to stay a creative director on the series, and they did that going forward,
That's
maybe they
possible.
still came back to Michael Myers years later and did this type of thing, and we wouldn't have all this confusion over whether we abandon Halloween 4 and 5 and all this.
Well, and here's the thing. I think that if it follows the same kind of, I don't want to say storyline, but it follows the kind of same path as Halloween. So you got the creepy babysitter, you're going to be murdered.
Right.
Well, then you would jump to Season of the Witch,
Right.
which is
Masks.
about creepy Halloween masks.
Right.
And if you went along that way, that would, I think it would work.
What you kind of see,
And I think now, if they went back and did it now that way,
it's
it
possible it could
would
work.
totally work.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about y'all, but American Horror Story I love it because
Yeah.
it's different.
Right.
Like
Well-
each season is different. But that would be the same as if you were doing a movie. You could totally make
think of
that
it,
work.
Think of it like the Trick or Treat movie, but each section of that film being broken out into its own movie.
yeah.
Right. It would totally work.
And that's the thing is like producers steer too close to safety. Like that's the reason you got a new Saw movie every year for 6
Right.
years. Like it's just like we're just gonna keep hitting on this because it's popular. And I'll give the creative directors and writers of the Saw sequels a little credit. As schlocky as those movies got,
Yeah.
they had some insanely ambitious plot twists in every
Right.
movie. Like up until you got to pretty much that last one before Jigsaw, Saw
Yeah.
3D or whatever.
Right.
That was I couldn't even find the silver lining on that one. But-
Well, it a lot of it boils down to the industry because you go back and look at interviews with Wes Craven. He said it took him more than 3 years to get anybody to take a chance on Nightmare on Elm Street
Yeah.
because they were like, it's too out there. It's not going to work. It's not
What
scary
year,
enough.
What year was that?
80
82?
4?
84. Yeah, I think that's right. 84. That would make sense.
You know,
I
and
think about
New
think
Line
about-
was like, we'll do it. Sure.
yeah.
We'll take a chance.
It was like horror movies from 1980. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Because they were like, oh, it's dreams and it's scary. No, it's not scary. This won't work.
Yeah.
But the Duffer Brothers had the same issue with Stranger Things. They went to 15 different studios to try and get it produced, and then Netflix was like, "Sure, we'll do it."
Netflix with their room of money that they
Yeah.
take interviews in.
Right.
Okay. Do you need money and make show? Here's money, make show.
Yeah, well, that's all why we got the increase, so they could have their $4.2 billion original content, budget. But one great thing that we got with Halloween 3.
We're gonna hit a content strike
I
on
know.
YouTube.
I know, but I want to let you play a couple of seconds of it, if it'll play. Oh, not a commercial. Stupid commercials.
Are we gonna say how many actual days it is?
I don't know.
Oh no, not that song.
Halloween, 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 silver shamrock.
So yeah, I mean, we couldn't have had a Halloween 3 without that going off every 10 minutes for a commercial.
I love the ending to that movie.
I do
Because the
too.
ending to that movie is basically Soylent Green as some weird Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Because, it's got the whole screaming, no, don't look at the screen.
Right?
And then all of a sudden the face melts.
I don't know. You could almost put it up there with The Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were about the same mentality, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Chris loved The Stuff. She just couldn't get enough.
That was so dumb. I'm like, it's marshmallow. Light the sucker on fire.
I rediscovered Waxwork this week.
Oh, did you?
I love that movie.
Oh my god. I lived in California the first time I watched that movie, and Waxworks was just one of the ones that came out, and it just so happened that we had Madame Tussauds
Okay.
in San Francisco.
Nice.
I did not want to go anywhere near a wax figure for a long time after seeing that movie. I was like, oh my god, they come to life at night. Oh my
That's
god, they're
funny.
going to eat us. I was just like,
I showed it to a friend, but Katie was out of the house. Whenever it got to the ending, like, fight scene between all the villagers and everything, I'm like, oh man, this is like golden era of Hollywood adventure,
Right?
high adventure movie. I'm like, okay, I think Katie needs to watch this one.
I just, oh my god.
You
And my
can
mom
imagine-
just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And
There's
just-
some great humor in
There
it.
is some great humor. But it's just, oh.
It stars Billy from Gremlins too,
Yeah.
as a prep,
Yeah.
and Bobby from Twin Peaks is his friend.
It's just,
But you can
oh.
imagine some Hollywood, producer sitting there watching and going, "This is a great film." What if we got Ben Stiller, and it's not a wax museum, but it's a natural history museum, and we'll just make it a kids version? That'll be great. Yeah, we could do that.
We'll call it Night in a Museum.
Yeah.
That's it. Right there.
So there's a shout out from me, and if you don't want to spend money on it, Tubi TV, TUBI. It's a free streaming service. You can watch it for free on there.
Woohoo.
Yeah, there's like 200 horror movies to check out on there.
Only 200?
That's it?
That's a couple of days,
That's just the horror
For me, it
section.
is.
right? But I think it would be great if they could take
I'm sorry.
this,
just
the
the way
idea
you did
that
that
was initially created for
hilarious.
Halloween and move it forward with different stories. Because Hellraiser pretty much did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you put the box anywhere, it's a story.
Yeah, the comics were really good about that.
Oh, yeah.
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 That and The Crow. The Crow series was about that, too.
Yeah.
And then they screwed it all up, and there went the franchise on it.
Well,
Edward Furlong in it.
J.O. Barr did that a little bit on his own with the comics, but
It's-
I ain't gonna fault him for that. It's his baby. His art is still amazing. Like
Oh,
even
wait.
whenever the comics weren't great, the art is still amazing.
And he's the
Yeah.
one that wants
You're like,
this
oh,
remake
the
done.
story sucks, but the art is so good.
He's the one that wants the new one redone.
yeah,
Rebooted.
he wants it remade, and
You know who they're picking for the main character?
Better be Jason Momoa.
that's fallen through too.
When?
That's like the fifth that's fallen through.
Jesus.
Because that's the last one I heard a couple
Yeah.
months ago.
No. If Jason Momoa is not doing it, then I'm sorry, nobody.
Wait.
He's
No.
built up with Aquaman,
He's doing everything.
which I'll admit looks good.
I'm
he's-
just saying.
But this guy's doing every movie out there right now. It's got to be The Rock.
No.
No.
'Cause he's doing everything.
No.
I know
Well,
he's
here's-
doing
no.
everything.
Here's the thing: if J.O. Barr wants to, if J.O. Barr wants to redo The Crow, the only reason I can think of is that he wants it to be closer to the comic.
Right.
But even
And that
still,
comic is
Dark.
so dark,
Yeah.
and so over the top violent.
but it's not DC.
How much darker can you get than call, bang, fuck, you're dead?
Have
you
you
can
read
get it-
some of the DC comics?
I don't
I'm
read
just
comics.
saying.
Have you
I don't
have
either.
you read The Crow?
No.
I will
don't read
loan it.
comics.
I will loan it to you, but
It is
there's a
some
lot darker.
dark,
It's a
twisted
lot darker.
shit.
Okay.
There was no necrophilia in the movie I saw, and there definitely is in that book.
Well, okay.
Yeah, fine.
A little bit.
Sorry, don't start so you crack a cold one. I
It
said
took me
it.
a second to process that and go, oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. My dad says
I
that.
guess it's like a lot of the
Yeah,
lines you get with
that's a
Rocky
dad
Horror. You
joke.
know, the closer the generation, the deeper the penetration.
Thank you.
No, but the
We've never said this was a kid-friendly show.
You know the only director that could do The Crow the way that it is in the book, though?
Yes.
David Lynch.
Probably, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you've ever looked at the book tells the story, but it's broken up into chunks. It's like chapters. And then in between, he's got poetry and like song lyrics from Depeche Mode and The Killing Joke and all this stuff.
Okay.
So like, I just see it like, they'll stop telling the story and then someone will come out and dramatically read a poem.
Yes.
And with some visual arts to go with.
And then it'll go back into the
then it'll
story.
go back into the
As
story.
long as it's not the aliens from... shit.
I don't know where. I don't know any aliens from shit.
No aliens from shit, huh?
They live.
No. Hitchhiker's
Obey.
Guide, because their poetry is just...
Oh my god, no.
Yes.
No.
Damn it.
No.
Can't remember the name of the alien.
It started with an N.
No.
Not Z, isn't it? I
think so.
Damn it.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Hold on.
I am
But you don't want to hear
I
their
am
poetry.
bad.
And
I'm a bad
first nerd
Douglas
to buzz
Adams
in with,
fan.
actually.
Yeah, actually... Have you seen the Star Trek one of those?
There's a Star Trek version?
Of actually?
Oh my gosh. No, we've just watching the regular ones. You've been hiding Star Trek, actually?
Well, apparently College Humor didn't do it, so.
Okay.
I don't know who did it, but I've seen it. And I was like, wait a minute, you're wrong.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Oh my gosh. So this girl was... Paul thinks she was joking. I think she was genuinely plugging a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked a question
Wait,
about
ours or
Ponfar.
hers?
No.
What?
No, hers.
Oh, okay.
No, so they asked a question about Ponfar, and you have to tell what is wrong about a statement, right?
Right.
And so they said that it is the ritual that they have to return to. They have to return to their home planet, otherwise they will go on a murder spree until their hormones have ceased.
Right.
Which is incorrect,
Correct.
and none of them could fix it.
What?
And one of the girls who buzzed in and tried to answer and was like, I should know this. I have a Trek podcast. And I was like, I don't want
you
you doing
should.
a Trek podcast
If you
if you
can't
don't know what Ponfar is.
Right?
Sorry, I geeked a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
Are you okay?
Apologies to everyone who's listening to the show who doesn't watch Star Trek and doesn't understand the reference.
But it's
Bad on them.
Katie.
Hey, I don't get the reference either. No bad on me.
But don't,
It's a sex thing.
Okay.
Ask her help.
actually is.
Actually,
She's all like,
the one
hold
I-
the phone here.
the one I saw, they
It
had
is.
like stuff about where they were born and stuff like that. And
I want to
it
test
came
my
to
knowledge,
Riker,
man.
and the dude's like, actually, he did not live in Alaska. And we're like, actually, he did.
Yeah, he did. I want to. Okay, so we're getting off on Star Trek here, but yeah.
They should have a Halloween special. That'd
What?
be great.
A Halloween? What?
They had a Halloween Star Trek. That would be
That
awesome.
would be awesome.
Are you telling me they never used the holodeck to do anything with it?
Well, I mean, we could look at the Abrams Star Treks. There's some creepy crap going on in that.
True.
What?
That's
No,
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
The
come
aliens
on.
are creepy.
You know, the second they invented the holodeck,
The
some guy.
Romulans, the mutated Romulans, those
Now,
are pretty
hold on,
creepy.
hold on. There was-
And then
There
in
was
the-
no Halloween episode for Star Trek
No.
ever?
no.
never.
No,
No.
never.
But they did
Because
they had the
they're-
holodeck episodes. Wasn't Jack the Ripper in there at one point?
No,
No.
they did Sherlock Holmes.
They did Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
They had,
And
and
then-
Moriarty got out of hand, but they
Moriarty-
never had.
Because they told the holodeck to create a character that could equal Data.
No, that could defeat
That could-
Data.
yeah.
Which
And
was
thus, and thus realized I'm in a holodeck.
So here's the weird part about that.
That's not on the holodeck. That's on the crew for being that stupid.
Here's the weird thing about that. So Data is the equal of the ship, right?
Right.
The ship's computer. So the ship just had to create a being that is greater than itself.
Yeah.
So now you have the issue of can a computer create something that is bigger than itself? Yep. I listened to a Trek podcast and we spent 45 minutes talking about whether that's possible and the implications of that if they can.
Yes, it's possible, and the implications are catastrophic.
But then you tie that into Skynet. So
that's for every dad who's into football and every son who's into chess.
Okay. Okay. So apparently there are certain episodes that are for Halloween in Star Trek.
Okay.
Cat's Paw.
Yeah, that's a bad episode.
The Enemy Within.
Which one?
The Enemy Within.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a
Wolf in the Fold.
Okay.
Night Terrors.
Night Terror. Oh, that's the one where Marina Sirtis gets the none of the crew can sleep, and Marina Sirtis shoots Beta's head, right? So she can't
slow
sleep.
down. Slow down.
Sleeps on a different rate. On a different rate than everybody else. So she sleeps, but she only has night terrors, and she's communicating with someone else outside, and so she's constantly afraid.
I think I remember.
So she's
that
not
one.
actually sleeping and resting.
Right.
It's not scary though.
No.
She's terrified the whole time because she's afraid she's going to become this other person.
I mean,
if it's still
and they're caught in a trap, and they're all going to die if they don't figure it out.
If it's still dealing with fear, though, I mean, that's still a Halloween. It still could be a Halloween episode.
But because of where humanity is in the future, there are actually no holidays, so there's not an actual Halloween.
There's not a
special.
specific holiday. Yeah, Halloween.
Okay, there's more. Schisms.
Okay,
Schisms.
which does it say which one? That's
Next Generation.
Next Generation.
Schisms. You don't remember that one?
No.
That was the one
of the creepiest episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Schisms is a story of abduction and medical experimentation.
Yeah.
Enterprise crew members report that they wake up exhausted and show signs of traumatic memories.
Yeah, I do. Hold on.
That's the one that they were getting sucked into another dimension and being experimented on, and Riker was the biggest one that was...
Yes. Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay.
Yep.
I was reading and you just stepped
Sorry,
all over
they're
me.
clicking.
Frame of Mind.
Okay. That's the next one on my queue. So go ahead.
Sub Rosa.
I know that episode.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with a funeral of the grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can see the creep in that one.
Impak Nor. That's Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
I don't watch that
The
series.
Thaw is Voyager.
The Thaw?
Mm-hmm. It is.
There are some Voyager episodes could definitely qualify.
Yeah. The Voyager crew, face to face with the personification of fear, is a case in which people are literally scared to death.
Yeah, they come face to face with their own fears in that one. Like the thing.
There's several
it's like
on
a bogger.
here.
I remember
Here's
that one.
one.
It's just-
Wait a minute. Is that what that episode of the Seth MacFarlane show was referencing?
Yep, it
Probably,
is.
yeah.
Yep.
There's another one. It's called The Haunting of Deck 12. It's a Voyager.
Oh, I remember that one. Mm-hmm. That was the one where they got the creature from the nebula and they'd take it back.
Yeah.
And Neelix is sitting there telling the kids, this is what happened.
So, anyways, I just...
Yeah.
I was looking and I
Thank
found
you.
some
Thank
stuff.
you for tying it in. I don't feel as bad that I got off on a tangent now.
Well, okay, and I will preface this by saying I've only seen very few episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah.
So I had to fast fingers that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping that it was, you know.
I just
I just figured that Next Generation had to have episodes like that because they really tried to hit the formula of what shows were doing at that era.
Right,
you know?
but they didn't. Because of the world of Star Trek, you couldn't come right out
They couldn't
and
say Happy
you know,
Halloween.
here's a jack-o'-lantern and here's a
right, because they don't do Christmas
holidays.
really either.
No,
they do Christmas in crap
in Generations.
in TOS because there's a Christmas party in engineering or science. Or
isn't that
whatever.
what Picard envisions in Generations, the movie?
Well, they do have that when he's in the Nexus.
When he's in the Nexus,
that's the Christmas tree and the family and everything he wanted.
What he wanted,
because that's what the Nexus gives you.
Right.
Yeah. And then he realizes, no, this is all wrong.
Right. He pulls a Kirk.
Yeah. And then he went and found
If I'm not hurting, I can't be happy.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty much.
That's Kirk's thing.
Yeah.
Unless he's having sex with slave girls.
No, Kirk's thing is if you're not hurting and trying for something and striving and like working yourself to the bone, then you can never be happy. That's
Right.
not true happiness.
Exactly.
So he will destroy.
So he's part Japanese?
No, he will destroy a civilization because they aren't unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, he's part Japanese?
Yes, sure.
See, you claim I work all the time. That's fine.
No, you're Irish, honey. I'm Japanese.
I don't trust this utopia.
Yeah.
No one's miserable here.
Right.
Well, we
Jerks.
I think we
Let
kind of shied
loose
away from
Godzilla.
the Halloween
Yeah.
movies, though.
But, I mean, we talked about a little bit about it, but like there's definitely the potential there for horror, definitely, but not specifically Halloween.
Right.
So it makes sense
because you can also think in Voyager of the episode where the crew has to be put in stasis, and it's only the Doctor and Seven, and the loneliness fear that she develops through that.
So, as someone who doesn't watch a whole lot of conventional TV anymore, it seems like shows have gotten away from the holiday episodes
Yes.
too a whole lot.
wait.
Oh yeah, at least specific driven.
Yeah.
Because you look at
Well, I mean,
some of the
like,
last couple
I
of seasons
know-
of NCIS or CSI.
I know Big Bang Theory does Halloween because they always
Right.
dress up as Justice League characters
Yeah.
and all those
Duh.
episodes.
But
and
you
all
know,
that type
like
of stuff.
like
But-
the shows like NCIS and CSI and Criminal Minds, they don't
What?
really have a
That
Halloween,
Halloween
the one behind
episode. He
They-
doesn't do
they've-
Halloween either.
Pretty much gone straight from
He
things-
wanted me to order him a costume this year.
Really?
Yeah, but it was expensive.
Ooh.
Yeah. I told him we could rent it.
Oh, there you go.
What was it?
Alf.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I thought we should have got him the one where it looks like the aliens carrying him around.
Right?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Pleading over here.
But yeah, things going on this week that y'all can check out or buy
okay.
or watch or
So I do have a question.
you do.
Because it is my birthday and I'm allowed to do this.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So what is your I'm Texan, so screw it. Y'all's favorite Halloween tradition? Something you do every year that you just, that's it. That's your Halloween thing.
I don't know if I have
Like
one.
it's not Halloween unless you guys do it.
I don't think I have one.
I've hit on mine because there's like 2 movies that I'll watch every Halloween.
And they are?
Dating back to before I was 10, Night of the Living Dead, and House on Haunted Hill.
Nice. The original?
The original.
Vincent Price?
Vincent Price.
Okay.
I watched that the other day.
No.
Mine,
You
I
can
guess.
next.
One that I've done since I was little is we always watch The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We still watch it with my kids. I still watch it every year.
I love
That
it.
is-
And the
movie.
I
newer
still celebrate
tradition
it.
we have, yeah,
It is so strange for a Christian-based comic strip to come out with that
Yeah.
special whenever Linus has that whole pagan ritual
Yeah,
monologue
yeah.
about the Great Pumpkin.
and while we watched it, we always carved pumpkins.
Oh, there you go.
You
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
gotta do that. It's coming quick. Probably do that this next weekend. The other thing that we do now is our Halloween party.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quickly become
Jack.
a tradition with
Yes.
us.
And
They're over there.
We've also, over the last 2 years so far, and this year, have made it a tradition to bring our last show of the season live from said party. So that's
Yeah.
a great thing.
Katie, what about you?
Watches the Addams Family.
I really didn't have Addams Family comes. Hocus Pocus is the one I have to watch
Yes.
on Halloween.
Yes. Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Shut it, God.
To be honest, though, like when I think I was about 7 years old, and I was not supposed to be watching TV at my grandmother's house. I'd been tucked into the front room and was supposed to go to sleep. It was actually probably younger than that. I think it was probably 6 because it was when Kendall was born, and so we were staying at my grandmother's house, and they were doing like a weird like holiday week like in March. So they're playing Halloween movies in March, and Hocus Pocus came on, and I'm flipping through the stuff, and it gets to like the the witchy kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I had never seen anything like that. And it scared me. It scared me bad. Like, I turned it off so quick and got to bed. Like,
Who's the writer? It's Mick Garris, isn't it?
I believe so. Let's see.
So,
the director's the dude who did High School Musical.
really?
Yeah. He also the music directed and the choreography for my High School Musical. So, yeah. So, no.
Yeah, there are a few movies that it doesn't feel like Halloween without it. It definitely Hocus Pocus.
Casper's one of mine too.
I
love
have
Casper.
to watch Addams Family.
Then
I absolutely have to watch from October 1st till probably November 1st. It is got to be Rocky Horror, complete with all the singing and everything. I love it. I've tried to let my daughters watch it, and they're just like, I don't get it. He's a guy in drag.
Charlie loves
No
it.
big deal.
My son loves it.
I'm like, oh my God, how can you not love this? This is Rocky Horror.
We'll put on the Halloween music while we're cleaning or whatever, and the time warp will come on, and we stop and we do the time warp.
There you go.
Every time.
Gotta do it.
I played the time warp every kickoff and every kickoff in high school because that's what we played at kickoff. So, and then whenever we came back from third quarter, and every time we felt like it, lots of time warp. So
At every score, you would go touchdown.
played that in the final countdown. So.
I love
In
it.
that movie, the song at the beginning, and we change it to "Oh Chad, I'm mad." I just got a finger.
You just got a birdie.
Oh, a double one.
At the football field.
Well, and you know,
damn it.
I
it
don't
was
rhyme well. I'm trying to figure
Katie's
out
all
what
like-
rhymes with Paul.
What?
Small ball,
Oh.
wall, doll.
Paul, you're a doll.
Oh.
And if you don't do what I want, you're going to end up in the hall.
Okay. Yes. I think it's a good ending spot right there.
We're stopping on Paul.
Ball stopping on you.
Aw.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
damn it.
Janet. So, check out these things this week. I'm going to go look and see if I can find Eli Ross thing on our AMC app on the Xbox. Mm-hmm. See if we can watch that. Definitely want to check out Haunted, Making a Murder Season 2.
Oh,
And?
it's not coming this week.
What?
But it's coming next week.
Okay.
Midnight Texas
Yes.
returns.
Midnight Texas returns
So
for season 2.
excited. Love me
Yes.
some Midnight Texas.
It's a great show. Surprised it took this long. For
Well,
season 2.
To do it right.
Yeah, well.
They needed to do it right.
They did.
Right, it's always
Yeah.
important.
Always important. So, check out these things this week. Halloween coming out on Friday.
My birthday. Hello.
And
Yeah.
Lore coming out. Disturbed's coming out with a new album. I think those are both on Friday. Making a Murder and Haunted, I think, are on the 19th as well.
Yes.
Eli Law.
You
Yeah,
just asked the man to be on here, and now you're
I know.
screwing up his name.
Well, yeah.
We love you.
Don't
Yes.
call him the bear jerk.
Don't. Just, yeah, no.
His starts actually Sunday.
It's now broadcast the first episode,
Yes.
but it'll
you
be
should be able to find
continuing every week through Halloween until Halloween. That's
Is
what
it
it's-
only supposed to be 4 episodes? Or
I think so.
okay. Because I was thinking they were saying 7, but
It's it to Halloween. So.
okay. There you go. All right. So check all that stuff out. As always, go check out our website for your ways to contact us through social media and or subscriptions, which we are currently looking on adding a new place you can subscribe, which is through Cricket's Deezer music app.
All right.
I believe,
We're
I believe
just
that's Cricket only,
covering
isn't it?
all the mutilated media.
Yeah.
Hey, we want people to hear us, right?
That's right.
We're just,
So-
you know.
People like
You know.
horror, and they don't get to talk about it much. So
Yes.
Did you say
I said
She
horror.
I thought she said horror. I'm like,
We don't
we
talk
did
about
not
horror.
pimp ourselves out. Shh.
Shh, I'm Batman. So, check out our website where you can listen to the show there. You can contact us. You can find out where to subscribe to us, and lots of other stuff coming up on the website soon. For next season, we got some things in the works, and so don't forget the 27th will be our live broadcast from our Halloween party. Mm-hmm. So we've got
I'm
that
actually
going on.
taking Halloween off this year.
Yeah.
That is going to be the first time I have ever done that.
I know, it's great.
I'm kind of scared, honestly, guys. I don't know what to do with myself. I've got Halloween off.
Oh, we'll figure something out.
Hello. We're having a party.
Well,
Now we're having a party.
yeah, but
Come here. We got stuff to do to get ready for said party.
oh, I know. I'm making a brain cake.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's going to be so amazing.
So
I can't wait for y'all to see this.
I'm so excited.
things to
We
do
always
this week.
come up with some crazy crap.
Things coming up, and we hope y'all enjoy the rest of your week. And as always,
Stay scared.
Fear Central is a product of Thoughtbox Studios. For more information, visit thoughtboxstudios.com.